What's new in CloudBees CI 2.479.2.3? On November 27, 2024, CloudBees CI 2.479.2.3 was released. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the changes that occurred in that release. Also on November 27th, Jenkins LTS 2.479.2 was released. On December 2nd, I did a video with Mark Wade about all of the changes in that release. If you're curious about all the changes that were in Jenkins LTS, the link to that video is down in the description. Now, if you've never taken a look at the release notes for CloudBees CI before, let me show you how to get there. We're starting at docs.cloudbees.com. We'll click on CloudBees CI under Documentation, and then under the Documentation dropdown, let's go ahead and select Release Notes. And here we're on the home page for all of the release notes for CloudBees CI. Let's go ahead and take a look at this important box at the top of the page. If you skip versions when you upgrade, refer to previous versions of release notes for any relevant known issues or upgrade notes. What does that mean? Well, again, the current release is 2.479.2.3. Let's say that we're upgrading from a version that is a little bit older. Let's say it's 2.462.1.3. I would need to go ahead and go through the release notes for 462.2.2 and 462.3.3 and so on until we get all the way back up to our version that we're installing, which is 2.479.2.3. As a CloudBees CI client, we recommend an assisted update to help make the update process easier. There's a link down in the description about how to get help with an assisted update. So let's first take a look at the release notes for traditional platforms, and then we'll go take a look at the items that are specific to modern cloud platforms. So if we take a look at full release notes for traditional platforms, we can see here there was a security advisory that's associated with this release. You can click into that and look at all the changes that occurred within the security advisory. But then we also have an upgrade note, a big red block here. And as we can see here, there was a Hazelcast upgrade in the high availability subsystem. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you're currently not running the active high availability mode for either traditional platforms or modern cloud platforms, then this doesn't affect you. However, if you are running high availability, you need to go through and read this note to understand how the changes from upgrading from an older version to a newer version or this current version may affect you. Let's go ahead and scroll down to new features. There are no new features in this release, but let's take a look at the feature enhancements. Now you're able to, using configuration as code, configure an alternate download site to install plugins. As we can see here, by default, CloudBees CI uses the CloudBees update centers during installation of plugins in Cask. Now you're able to override that and define your own alternate plugin download site. Again, this will require that you're running the new Cask Plugin Management API version 2 that exists in Bundle YAML. Another feature enhancement for this release is using per replica temporary directories for checkouts of pipeline libraries in HA controllers. If you're currently running HA, be sure to go ahead and read this release note to understand how this change may affect you. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the next section, which is resolved issues. There are a number of fixes for the CloudBees HashiCorp Vault plugin, as well as a number of other miscellaneous fixes. Now let's go ahead and go take a look at our release notes for modern cloud platforms. Now there are just a handful of differences between traditional and modern cloud platforms. First off, under feature enhancements, we have prepare a jar cache for Kubernetes agents. Previous to now, every time a new agent would start up, there would be jar files that would be transferred over to that agent. Now, when you're using Kubernetes agents, the container image has the jar files necessary. Since that container image has all of the jar files in it, once it spins up, faster initialization and also a reduction of load on controllers. Also, one more feature enhancement is here at the bottom. Managed Controller Hibernation Monitor will use startup probe of CloudBees CI container to find wake up timeout threshold. As noted in the last sentence, if the startup probe isn't available, it's just going to fall back to what's been happening all along. Now, there are two specific items fixed for disaster recovery under the resolved issues. What we can see here is the failure to retry stages using Kubernetes after disaster recovery. The two items specifically have disaster recovery in them, this issue and this issue. So if you've been trying to run modern cloud platforms in a disaster recovery mode, these two fixes will help resolve any issues that you may have been having. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on X at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.